All right, welcome back to this is the second episode of Limitless Nerd. I'm your host, and I'm very happy to have a very special guest, Gabe. Gabe, thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about your collection
Okay.
because I know you are the collecting guy, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh.
But before that,
Mhm.
I just kind of want to ask you, and this is kind of how I'm going to start all of these. Where
Yeah.
did your where did your journey with Star Wars start?
Yeah.
Go all
I
the
mean,
way back.
obviously, I think as most of us, right, as we're kids, right, like really young, um, I fell in love with Star Wars. So I grew up in a Spanish speaking household. So, when we'd go to the, video store to rent a movie, I'd always want Star Wars. And the funny thing is that there's always two versions you can get at the video stores. You can get like a dubbed version of like the Star Wars, like in Spanish, or one with subtitles on it. And I would always ask my parents, I was like, I want the subtitle ones. I don't care if like I don't understand like them what they're saying. I was like, I want to hear the real voices. And I would memorize the lines in English. And so I could play with my toys, right? And that was like my main thing. Um, so that was kind of my first introduction even to English, right? Like it was Star
Yeah,
Wars. So obviously, as you know, from a young age, I just fell in love with Star Wars. Um, I mean, that was it, and of course the toys, right? I mean, collecting the
yeah,
toys really was another gateway to Star Wars, right? All the original Kenner figures, because I'm a little older, so I was collecting the Kenner figures, the originals,
Hey, I
and I
mean,
just remember, yeah, there you go, exactly. And I had a family member, an uncle of mine, that he was also a collector, so he would teach me about it. He'd be like, "Well, if you can, leave them in the package, but if you're really gonna open them, try not to like move their arms or their legs too much because they'll get like really loose." So there I am as a little like 7-year-old kid playing with my toys, just grabbing them by the little, by like the body, but yeah, it was at an early age that I just fell in love with Star Wars. And in fact, I think I was probably like I want to say like second grade, where one of our projects was to write a letter to kind of one of our heroes, and it could be like anybody, right? Like, and back then you could go to the library and there was a little book that had like PO box addresses for like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
celebrities and like people like that. So I chose George Lucas, and
Wow.
so I sent George Lucas a letter like, I'm your biggest fan, like can I have your autograph?
Yeah.
And like a year later, I get a letter back from Lucasfilm.
Wha-
And they're
What?
like, well, sorry, like George doesn't, Mr. Lucas
Yeah,
doesn't sign autographs, but here's this picture and a bookmarker. And like, it was just like such a cool thing to be like
that's still cool.
acknowledged by Lucasfilm at,
Yeah,
such a young age.
yeah, that's cool. And
Yeah.
I I find it kind of funny that you had an uncle that kind of introduced you to the
Yeah.
Kenner figures because I also had an uncle that gifted me a lot of Kenner figures,
Yeah.
kind of at the beginning of my journey too. So that's
Yeah.
so I want to talk about collecting
Okay.
because you are. I mean, if you're in the Star Wars collecting world, I think
Yeah.
you know Gabe.
Oh,
But
man.
where was because you're kind of more specializing on the high end stuff. Was
Mhm.
that always the
Always.
goal, or was that something that you kind of came
Y-
into later, or? And I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
play a little bit of your collection
Yeah, of
while you
course.
talk.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I was a collector ever since I was a little kid, right? So I collected the Kenner figures, and then there was a time, like I guess it was like during the '90s, where there was really no like Star Wars coming out, right? Even the toys kind of they died down, so I kind of just got out of collecting Star Wars, and it wasn't until the Power of the Force series came out, like the orange backs, like the ones where they're
Hmm.
all like buff.
Yeah.
When that series came out, I was like, oh my God, look at a new Boba Fett like figure. And like, how cool is this? So it sparked my interest to get back into collecting. So I started collecting those. And it was around, I guess 2000, around like 2002-ish, where I discovered, actually from the same uncle, I discovered a company called Master Replicas, which,
Yeah.
like, those lightsabers, a lot of those are from Master Replicas, which they had the license from Lucasfilm to go into the archives and basically replicate the screen used props. So as soon as I discovered that company, I was like, oh my God, this was amazing. Although at that time, like, I couldn't afford them. So I was just like admiring them from afar.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until about 2005 when my then girlfriend, now wife, she bought me a Stormtrooper helmet, a Master Replica Stormtrooper helmet. I think it was for Christmas. And that just kind of did it for me. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's a life size, like,
Yeah.
Stormtrooper helmet. I've always wanted this. So then I started, looking on, like, eBay for like just a cheap used lightsabers at first. But of course, that kind of led me into actually going into Master Replicas and started to like pre-order the stuff. And then EFX Collectibles took over the license. So immediately I started ordering stuff from them. And then it just kind of just slowly started growing, and the collection started going from like one lightsaber to three lightsabers, then the blasters and the helmets. And all of a sudden I had too much too many things to put in one place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was around 20 years ago that I started collecting
Wow.
the life size, high end prop replicas.
Yeah. And I want to talk to you about your display too, because I
Yep.
mean, not to continue to like hype you up here or anything, but I mean, I would argue
Look at
that
that
you
mess.
have a you have
That's it.
a you have a I'd almost go so far as to say a museum quality level to
Thank you.
how you display. And I
Yep.
know you're working on a new display room
Yeah.
as we speak.
Yeah, as you can see in that
So
video, there's a
yeah.
lot of stuff at like this spot. Like, I grew it real quick, so yeah,
So
bigger space.
what kind of went into wanting it to
Yeah,
not only are the items more high end, but how you
yeah,
display them kind of reflects that.
yeah, yeah. Actually, when you go back to my YouTube channel and start seeing like my early reviews, like probably back in like 2016, 2017, you'll notice that I was doing those reviews in my garage, and all I had was just like two like bookshelves with some helmets just stuffed in there, and then my Han Solo and Carbonite. Um, so it was all in the garage, and it was just boxes were stacking up. And when we were house hunting, we came across this house, and immediately I saw this space, right? It's like an office space in this house, and it's separate from everything else. And like, if I turn you could see there's a gigantic window right there. And that gigantic window kind of looks into our family room and beyond. So you could actually see like my helmet wall from the rest of the house. So one of
Yeah.
the things that I wanted to make sure is that, as if people are coming over, I didn't want it to look like a kind of like a man cave, or like a, just like a, just like all cluttered, collection. I wanted to look nice and clean. Part of it because, obviously my wife was like, all your Star Wars stuff needs to just stay in there. But I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure it looked really like a museum, right? So when someone
Yeah.
walked in, each piece got the kind of recognition that it deserved. Every
Yeah.
single piece has its own little spotlight on it. So, I just wanted to curate it and make sure that it looked like a museum, looked like you're walking into the archives. So yeah,
Yeah.
a bit of everything, right? A bit of the fact that I knew that people were going to be able to see into the room. That's number one. Two,
Yeah.
obviously, I wanted to make sure that my wife, like, if she looked in, it wasn't like just like a big cluttery mess. But three, it was to give each piece the respect that it deserves, right? Like, every single
Yeah.
piece has enough space around it, and is
Yeah.
displayed properly.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't wait to see the new space. once you get it done,
Good.
it looks like it's gonna be
Getting there. It's getting there.
gonna be cool, man.
Ah.
I'm curious. Do you have a? And this is probably like picking your favorite child, but do
No.
you have a favorite piece in your entire collection?
I'd probably say the Raincore from Regal Robot is probably my
Yeah.
favorite. You probably see it right now in the video, but Regal Robot went into the Lucasfilm archives and digitally scanned the Raincore puppet that they used in Return of the Jedi. And it's not that one. That one's the maquette. There's a bigger size one where it was an
Yeah.
actual puppet. They made 83 of them, and that thing is just beautiful. I just absolutely love that. And again, it's because it's the Raincore, and you look at it, and it looks like the Raincore, right? There's a lot of pieces that, like, they're stylized. Some pieces, obviously, they're recognizable, right? You notice,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I know that helmet. I know it's a stormtrooper. I know this. You kind of have to explain the nuances of, like, the differences between some of the helmets. But that piece right there, like, as soon as you see the Raincore, it's like, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, and it was on the floor because I was doing a review for something up where it normally is, but that Raincore right there is just absolutely my favorite. At least from, if I had to choose something real quick, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Do you kind of have a bucket list item or something that's kind of always eluded you?
Yeah. Actually, this piece, I got it now, but so this Han Solo and Carbonite, this specific version of it, because I built the one that you see in some of my older videos. I built myself, like, on the RPF. I bought the Han Solo kit to, like, make it. I made, like, used plaster for the Carbonite. Anyways, I always wanted the Elusive Concepts one because the Elusive Concepts one, again, is a licensed prop replica. They actually went into the archives and they made a mold of the whole front of the Carbonite, right? The Han Solo and Carbonite, and they made a mold of one of the panels. So you could only get it back in the 90s through Sharper Image or the Sky Mall magazines. You used to be able to get them through there. But they're rare, right? Because a lot of them didn't survive. They actually didn't even finish the run. There were supposed to be 2,500 of them. My understanding is that there's probably less than 1,500 out there that actually got produced. And out of those 1,500, I mean, they're so delicate because they're made out of fiberglass. So, like, the fingers chip off, the nose chips off.
Yeah.
Like, they just, like, they're delicate, right? But also heavy. So it's almost like a trifecta of the perfect storm has to come together for you to get one. It's like, it needs to be local, right? Because shipping one of these is dangerous because it's going to either break during shipping or it's going to be so expensive because you got to crate it, and it's just, you got to do it as freight. So it needs to be local. It needs to be in good condition, right? That's another thing. You got to find one that doesn't have the fingers broken off. You also have to find one that's like an earlier number, because unfortunately they're using the same mold going through them. So as they got to, like, maybe 1,000, right? The mold already started wearing off. So in the later ones, you could actually see, like, webbing between the fingers. It started getting kind of messy. So you got to find one locally. You got to find one in good condition. You got to find one that's a kind of lower edition, and then at a good price, right? Because that's the other thing.
Yeah.
These, like, you can find them, like, on eBay, but they're like $15,000, or $10,000. So, like, you have to, everything has to come to place, and that happened actually, I think around the shutdown, so 2021-ish maybe. I think that's when I found one locally, and I was just like, I gotta have it. So
you can never move out of your house now.
I know, right? I mean, well, it's gonna come with me at any point. So
that's cool. But since you are more on the high end side, with Regal Robot and Master Replicas, and I know Anovos is very big. Is there since your collection is so specific, is there a line or a piece or something like that that you have always thought is really cool, but you're like, it doesn't really fit what I've got going on?
Yeah. Oh, that absolutely happened to me. Um, Especially like when uh, Prop Shop came out, right? Prop Shop did
Yes.
the props for Force Awakens, and I love those props. Like they looked
Yeah.
awesome, like the Kylo Ren lightsaber, Finn's helmet with the blood, all just basically everything, that the melted Vader helmet and all that. So it was one of those like those pieces that I was like, man, they look amazing. I would love to have them, but at the time I was really, or even now it's still, I try to curate my collection to original trilogy stuff. So it really like I gotta hold myself back, and I want to like make sure I
Yeah.
focus, because again, as you know, you're a Star Wars collector. Like it's a slippery slope, and it can get out of
Yeah.
control real quick.
Very, very much so.
There's so many things to
Yeah.
collect. So like
It's so
I
much.
try to be very disciplined, try to like stick to my niche basically, which is it's going to be original trilogy. That's like top. Like if it's from the original trilogy, it's there. As far as helmets, Imperial helmets, that's what I focus on. Like I don't want to collect the, you know, X-wing helmets, although I
Yeah.
have them. I have some. There are just too many of them out there.
Yeah.
Same with like Mandalorian helmets, right? Like I want to just kind of stick to like the main ones, and that's it, because there's just so many that are out there.
Yeah.
Clone troopers as well, right? Like so, like I need to like
Yeah.
focus, or else, like you guys saw that video, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
floor full of just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean, yeah, it is definitely a very slippery slope. That was always my thing with Funko Pops. I was
mhm.
like, I'm never gonna get one because if I
Yeah,
get one,
yeah,
you've opened the door, and
yeah,
then somebody gifted me one, and I
yeah,
was like, oh no.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
so what with your collection, did the social media aspect of it kind of did 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 it all kind of come about at the same time, or was that something that you had a plan to do, or was that something that just kind of happened?
Yeah. I mean, I guess a little bit of everything. So it was back in about 2016. I think it was around the Anovos days, right? When Anovos was really pumping out the helmets. I was getting a lot of the helmets, and what I started noticing is that on the RPF, there's a lot of people making their like, fan made things, but they didn't
Yeah.
have references. And one of the first videos that I made was actually the prop shop Kylo Ren lightsaber video. And that's because at that point, everyone was working off just screen grabs, right? Just
Yeah.
random, screenshots from the film that they can get for that Kylo Ren lightsaber. So when Prop Shop came out with that, I was like, you know what, I want to make a video so people on the RPF have a better reference, right? And they could kind of see like the size, they could see close up like some of the features. So that was my first Star Wars video on YouTube. And then after that, I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, if I get, and because of it, so because I opened it up and it ended up being defective, they forgot to paint
Oh
it
no.
black. So they painted
Oh
it
no.
like purplish blue. So when I like
Oh
opened
no.
it up, I was like, why is this? I was like, there's no way the Kylo Ren lightsaber. And again, keep in mind, Prop Shop was the company that made them for the movie. So it wasn't
Yeah.
just like some random company. It was like they're the prop makers for the movie. So like
Yeah.
they were exact replicas of the ones used in the film. And then I get it, and I was just like, wait, it's purple, like bluish tint. Like there's no way like that. It doesn't
Huh.
look like that. Turns out it was defective, and that turns out that's probably one of the reasons they lost the license so quickly, because there's some
Yeah.
quality control issues there. So anyways, after that I was like, you know what, I should start filming all my things that I get, just in case something comes in damaged, so I can like have proof that, hey, it was damaged
Yeah.
when I opened it, or like if it was missing something, right? And then even after that, I was getting still some of the master replicas aftermarket, and I wanted to also give people references of like what comes in the box, because a lot of people didn't realize like, oh, like does it come with the case? Like, does it come with the acrylic top? Does it come, obviously the certificate of authenticity, all the paperwork that comes in there,
Yeah.
the shipper box, the art box. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And by then, Master Replicas was long gone. So I wanted to give people kind of a reference of like, hey, if I buy this, let me look at Gabe's video to see if everything's included, right? So that's kind of where the social media thing started. It was just YouTube, and I would upload like 2 videos a year, maybe, right? Like it wasn't like I wasn't doing it like to grow the channel. I was literally just there to give the collecting community some type of reference. And it wasn't until probably around the shutdown, I think that's around 2020 is when kind of my social media started growing. Like I think like a lot of people were all in the house, like, so we were all on TikTok and stuff. So I started a TikTok and I started posting my collection, and then the TikTok just started going crazy, right? It was like 100,000, 200,000, 300, 500,000 followers. So like the TikTok kind of got me in the content creator mentality where it's like, okay, like I'm creating short form videos this now, like all my, my platform kind of shifted to short form. And then I started posting those when Reels came out. I started posting those on Instagram, and then again, the growth from there. So yeah, I mean, in reality, it was around the shutdown is when like my socials really started growing.
Yeah. That's crazy that what started as a quality control for other people turned into what I will honestly say is a pretty awesome, content career.
Oh, dream! It's been a dream come true. And in fact, early on when I was doing them in the garage, I was telling my wife, because my wife's like, "Aren't you embarrassed? Like, kind of doing, going online and talking about these things?" I was like, "Nah, not really. Like, who's really gonna watch?" I was like, "What would be really cool is if like, some of these companies that I'm getting stuff. Like, it'd be cool if they sent me stuff so I can like, unbox it and do the reviews." And that would be like, that was my dream for me, right? Like to work with some of these brands, which is so cool that now, like, I have very strong relationships with all of those brands, and like, I get to review some of their stuff like way ahead of time, and it's just wild. So
yeah. And I mean, even on top of just working with the prop replica companies, I mean, did you ever, and I'll switch over to this real quick, did you ever anticipate that you'd be
Lucasfilm?
Did you ever anticipate that you'd be having some of the experiences that you've had?
No, that's another thing. I mean, as a Star Wars fan in general, has been a dream for me. Like that's, them Lucasfilm inviting me to like the red carpet premieres of like some of the shows, and like, I mean, that just been wild to me, because again, like I never really, I always saw myself as a collector, not necessarily like as a content creator, because I mean, us that we consume social media, we see content creators and influencers, and it's very blog style, filming, right? And mine is really more of like, hey, like, look at this new collectible, and really more focused on the collection. So I never thought that I would be offered the opportunity to attend these things, because again, I never saw myself as like a content creator influencer style channel, right? So it's been humbling. I mean, I absolutely am super grateful for all the opportunities that Lucasfilm and Star Wars has given me to to experience. My family too. I mean, I've taken my daughter to like one of the premieres, and it's just really cool to share that with my family. So
yeah. And I'm curious because I know you just got back from Lucasfilm just a few days ago. For was it it was a screening of Rebuild the Galaxy. How was that?
I mean, again, that was great. That was the first time I've been to a kind of a premiere at Lucasfilm, like at their campus at the Presidium. All the other premieres, they have been like in LA at the El Capitan, or one Skeleton Crew was at Disneyland. But it was the first time that I've been to Lucasfilm in that capacity, right? I've been to Lucasfilm just because I got a tour, through someone we knew. So I've been there a couple times, but it was really cool to be there and get to watch, the basically the season premiere of the new Lego show, and then all of a sudden it's like, we get all the celebrities that are like there for the Q&A, right? So Ashley Eckstein, we got Cameron, what is it, last name?
Monahan.
Monahan, yeah. And then Gaten Mazzarato, right? So it was just wild to just see them there and answer the questions. And, but it really is just more, at this point, it really just becomes more like a little family reunion with like a lot of the Star Wars content creators or just fans in general, right?
For sure.
That you see at conventions or just like random places. So it's such a cool feeling to be like, hey, what's going on? And like, seeing like just old friends, right?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to Grayson about that event a couple days ago. Shout out Grayson. Speaking of just kind of the community, what is the, I don't want to say being somebody that's known in the Star Wars community, but I would say you're somebody that's known in the Star Wars community.
Yeah.
What is has that changed your experiences at like Celebration,
at
maybe?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I think it started again maybe a little right after COVID. Maybe I think it was Star Wars Celebration 2022, right? So like remember they pushed Celebration a couple years. 2022 was like the first time I've ever experienced just somebody like coming up to me and like recognizing me. And it was actually from TikTok, like, right?
Yeah.
I started getting people coming up to me like, hey, you're my favorite TikToker. I love your TikToks. And it was just like TikTok. And they would come and take pictures of me. And I had my family with me at that Star Wars Celebration. So it got to the point where like, I'd get stopped, every few yards. Like I'd walk by to the point where my family was just getting annoyed. They're just like, all right, we'll just catch up. We'll see you later. And that was just like, just kind of mind blowing, right? Just because again, we had just come out of COVID, the shutdown. So we're already kind of isolated for such a long time. And then all of a sudden coming out to this like super like engaged community was awesome. And I mean, that's my favorite part. My favorite part is being able to talk to passionate fans, and they'll come up to me and they're like, oh my God, Gabe, because of you, I bought this, or I started my collection. Or one of the biggest ones that I get, which is always kind of an awkward moment, is like a husband will bring the wife, and the wife would be like, this is the guy why we have like this, and the wife's like, oh, it's because of you, huh? And I'm like, I'm sorry, like, I apologize like for enabling your husband to buy all this stuff, but those are usually like again, some of my favorite interactions. And again, a lot of times meeting people that on social media, and but again, it's just social media, so you're only like message them, and then to meet them in real life is just a whole other experience, because you feel like you just know them, right? And which is another weird thing, because sometimes there's faceless accounts left and right, especially with Star Wars. So people that like I have been friends with like on social media, and I don't know what they look like because they're faceless accounts, but I'm always we're messaging back and forth. And then I see them at a convention like, hey, Gabe, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And then they have to like, Star Wars this, whatever the handle is. I'm like, oh my god, there you go. That's what you
Yeah.
look like, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta say that was, you talk about knowing people on social media and then meeting them in person. That was a really big thing for me this year at Rebel ScumCon,
No.
because I mean, we actually met briefly at the first year of Rebel ScumCon, um, very
Yeah.
briefly, but really actually met and got to know each other a little
Yeah.
bit this year. And but I mean, from Will and Grayson to Carly to
Yeah.
Isabella to, I mean, so many people.
Yeah.
Um, that was just, honestly,
Yeah.
and I want to talk to you about Rebel ScumCon here in a minute, but um, just for me, who is at at the beginning as a creator can be,
Mhm.
to meet you guys and be able to talk to you, and everything, feel really welcomed.
Mhm.
That was
That's
really
good.
huge,
Yeah.
huge for me. So um what was your experience at Rebel ScumCon this year? Because I mean,
Yeah.
it was so much bigger this
Oh.
year.
Oh, way bigger. Yeah. Um, it was way bigger, but same feel. I got
Yeah,
the same. It was the same
yeah,
vibe, right? Like
yeah,
first year, it felt very personal. You're able to talk to people, actually have conversations. Because sometimes at conventions, it's just so loud. There's so much stuff
yeah,
going on. It's hard to have like a real conversation with somebody. And there, you could spend some time to actually getting to know people and even the celebrities, right? Like you
yeah,
actually had time to interact with them and actually like talk to them. So it was such a great experience. And when they're saying they're doing the part two, right, this year, I was like, oh, absolutely, like I gotta go.
yeah,
So I did. I felt like it was similar in the sense that it felt like a big Star Wars family reunion, and
yep,
it felt like you just knew everybody and everyone was just so welcoming and like, again, like seeing
yeah,
old friends. So I absolutely loved it. It's by far, even though it's been just 2 years, it's one of my favorite conventions just because
yeah,
of that, right? Of the friendships that we
yeah.
made.
And I mean, Star Wars for me has always been a pretty personal thing.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I had friends that when a new movie would come out, we'd go see it, but
Yeah.
they weren't really Star Wars
Right.
fans
Right.
per se. But this year, I mean, I met so many people, and now I'm looking forward to next year. Not only because I know the show will be awesome, because I know
Yeah.
it will be, because I've been friends with Josh and Bobby and
Yeah.
all those guys for quite a while now. But
Yeah.
now I get to add an extra layer of, I get to see and hang out with all my friends.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that was really cool. But going back to some of the really awesome, just Star Wars fans' dream
Yeah.
experiences that you've gotten to have, and this is just some of the ones that you've gotten recently.
Yeah.
Do you have one, or a specific, or one or two,
Yeah.
any stories that stick out, or
Yeah.
moments that really come to
Yeah.
the front of your mind?
Um, yeah, from some of the premieres, I think the first premiere I was invited to was the Acolyte premiere, and that one was interesting because again it was my first time kind of just being on the red carpet and again just being there, right? Um, but I just some of my favorite parts are always because my wife's not like a big Star Wars fan, so it's always like seeing her interactions with some of the like celebrities or just some of the people because she's just like
Yeah,
whatever, like she doesn't know who this person is, so she's just like chatting with them like normal, like cracking jokes, and I'm always like, my god, do you know who that is? Like yeah, like we were kind of on this like a media line, and we saw actually Cameron, Iman, plays Ezra. Who else was in there? Oh my God, Diana Lee was in the picture, and then so they were taking pictures basically, and everyone had a lightsaber, and except for Iman, and then I had a lightsaber. So my wife's like, "Give him your lightsaber," and I was like, okay, but like I'm not gonna like just be like, hey, like interrupt their picture. And my wife's like, hey, Iman, here, you want this lightsaber? And he like looks around, and I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, throw it. And I'm like, everyone's like, all the media is like looking at me. Everyone's like looking at me to make sure, because oh my God, I'm just gonna throw this lightsaber like 10 feet across. I'm like, if I like missed it, and then they're standing by like the NBA championship trophy. For some random reason, the championship trophy was at the Acolyte premiere just to take like people could just take pictures with it. I have no idea why it was there, but people tended to like go around it and take pictures. So they're standing around it. I have this lightsaber, and I'm like, oh my God, if I misthrow this and just hit that trophy or like hit one of the other like celebrities, it's gonna be so embarrassing. But anyways, I throw it, and Mon catches it, and he's just like, and he like takes a picture. Everyone's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so that was a surreal moment. And then he comes back and gives me the lightsaber, and then he recognizes me. And that was the other big thing, because I had just seen him maybe a couple weeks before at a convention. Randomly, we were just like in the hotel lobby, and he just joined our party and just started hanging out with us and talking to us. I got to show him the collection and all that. So he recognized me on there. He's like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, and that was surreal to me, because it was like that moment, all eyes on me to throw that lightsaber. And it was all because my, heckling wife was, I am on, get this lightsaber.
Oh no.
I got a few of those where my wife's like we met Bryce Dallas Howard at the premiere of Skeleton Crew. And so I'm like chatting with her, just trying to have a very like cordial, because I mean it's Bryce Dallas Howard, like I'm starstruck, and we're talking about it, and I'm like, I really love this, like you guys did such a fantastic job. I was like, I grew up in the 80s, I was like, I'm 44, or maybe I was 43 at that time, but I was like, and she's like, wait, so am I. When's your birthday? And I was like, March. And she's like, so am I. What day? And then it turned out we were like 1 week apart from each other. And she's like, cool. Oh my God, that's so crazy. And she looked at my wife, and she's like, can you believe we're like 1 week apart? And my wife's like, yeah, that's just weird. And then she just like cried, like just cracking up that my wife was like, yeah, that's just weird. But things like that. So those are some of the more memorable moments, but
that's fantastic.
Is enough for me.
That's fantastic. Well, I have to ask, because I know that you are also a avid Disney fan.
No.
And a Disney Parks fan.
No.
Do you have a favorite of the Disney parks?
Ooh, yeah. So we've been pass holders, I think, since 2009, I think 2008 or something like that. It's been a long time. We've been pass holders for a long time. We're in Southern California, so it's like right there for us. I mean, for me, the nostalgic feeling of just the original OG Anaheim Disneyland for me is like, that's it right there. My wife and kids love going to the California side, like the DCA side. I'm like, no, I'd just rather be at Disneyland. And we've gone, we've gone obviously to Florida. And even then, like for me, I know like people knock it, but I'm like, Magic Kingdom was cool. Like I like Magic Kingdom. Like that for me, it's the nostalgia, right? Even in Japan too. Like we obviously went to Japan. Everyone was like, oh, like what's the second park? Oh my God, I can't.
Shanghai Disneyland?
No. Like in Tokyo, there's two parks. It's Disneyland, and then oh my God, I can't remember the other. But anyways, everyone was like raving about the other one. And I was like, no, I like the Disneyland park. Like for me, that was it. And in fact, we're going to Disneyland Paris in March, so we're really excited about that. We're trying to hit every park.
Okay, so since you're a classic Disneyland guy, what's your favorite attraction?
Ooh, I mean, for me, it's Star Tours. I mean, that again, just because of that.
100%.
Yeah, I would even pick Star Tours over like Rise of the Resistance or the Millennium Falcon. Like, yeah, Star Tours to me is like the classic one for me.
Gabe, we just became best friends. That's fantastic. I love Star Tours. I have the D23, the Star Speeder.
Oh, the big one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I actually saw it. D23, like with a little screen. Oh,
dude,
it's so cool.
It's so cool. So we were talking about Disney, and obviously Star Wars is the big one. But are you what do you are you a part of any fandoms outside
Like
of Star Wars?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Oh,
what are some of the big ones?
Oh yeah. I mean, a easy second place is a Back to the Future. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. I love Back to the Future. So Back to the Future, obviously the Karate Kid movies. I love the Karate Kid movies. Ghostbusters, James Bond. I'm a huge Bond fan. So I collect a lot of the James Bond prop replicas as well. And then, of course, Marvel, right? I love the Marvel movies. I also collect a bunch of the life-size Marvel prop replicas. What other fandoms do I really, really like? I mean, I love Tarantino movies. Like that was another big thing for me.
Favorite Tarantino movie?
The what?
Favorite Tarantino movie?
Ooh, that's hard. But I mean, I'll go back to Pulp Fiction. Just again, that's the classic for me. But I mean, honestly, Tarantino movies are those ones where it could be on TV and I could watch any single one of them, like nothing.
Well, you're talking about Karate Kid, and I have to show you this real quick.
Oh, dude, I want that. Like, I need to do that. Like,
it was so cool.
100%. I got to do that next time they're together. Like,
I mean, obviously, I was a big fan of I had seen all the Karate Kid movies, but for me, the big thing was Cobra Kai.
Yeah. It's such a good series.
It was so good.
Yeah.
But so okay, we talked about Disney, we talked about fandoms. I got a couple going back to Star Wars.
Okay.
Since this is a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
I got a couple rapid fire questions
for
you.
Let's do it.
So, favorite Star Wars movie?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
No.
Favorite series?
Andor.
Let's do Andor. What about animated?
Ooh. I guess it'd be see, it's hard. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's like Rebels or Clone Wars. I mean, I'd have to. I guess Clone Wars. I have to go with
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character, or maybe a Mount Rushmore?
From the animated, or just in general?
Like or just in general? Just in general.
Tarkin. Tarkin's my favorite. I have him tattooed on my arm. Like.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see it, but
yeah.
But yeah,
Tarkin. Oh. Yes.
So
hop right back in.
Yeah, absolutely. Tarkin, my favorite Star Wars character by far. So
yeah. Okay. That's cool. You don't hear a lot of you don't see a lot of love for Tarkin.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite vehicle?
Ooh, that sounds good.
See, I'm hitting you with the single answers now because we're gonna get to a blind ranking here in a minute, and we may not be friends anymore.
I'd probably say the T16. That's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice pull. That's a cool.
T16.
All right.
T16 or the
T16.
shuttle, which kind of have very similar,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Imperial
The
shuttle.
that one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like the
Yeah.
Imperial shuttle. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite prop that's not a lightsaber or a helmet? Because I
The
know
Rain
that would
Corps.
be the easy
Yeah.
answer.
We talked about the Rain Corps up there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man.
that Rain
That's so
Corps
cool.
is absolutely my favorite
Yeah.
prop.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where it gets tricky.
Where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins. I have a couple of different blind rankings for you.
Okay.
I've got two.
Okay.
I've got lightsabers and I've got helmets.
Ooh, let's go.
And I'm gonna let you pick which one you do first.
All right. Let's do lightsabers first.
Lightsabers first. Okay. So you've got 1 through 10.
Okay.
So the first one I'm going to give you is I'm going to get the heaviest hitter out of the way. The Skywalker saber, the Graflex, the OG.
Ooh, OG. I'd put that as number 3.
3. Okay. Kylo.
Ooh, I actually love that design. Let's put that number 5.
5. Okay. The Dark Saber.
Ooh, I do love that the katana looking style to it. Actually, yeah, let's put that number 6.
Number 6 for the Dark Saber. All right. How about Luke's green one from Return of the Jedi? Luke's V2.
Ooh, I'd probably say that's number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That is my favorite lightsaber in all of Star Wars, so I'm
Yeah.
not gonna complain about that at all.
Yeah.
All right. How about Maul's double from Phantom Menace? His first one.
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, I'm gonna put that at number let's do number 8. I know I'm gonna get some heat for that, but yeah, a little bit further down.
We still got some interesting ones left.
Okay.
So, how about Ahsoka's white doubles from Rebels and the Ahsoka series?
Ooh, see, I knew that one was coming. That's a good one. I love that design. The katana style, right? The curved ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Do I still have what numbers do I have?
You still have 2, 4, 7, 9, and 10.
Let's do those. Let's do those at 4. I really love those designs. Ooh, but you know what? I just capped myself with 2 other. Okay, that's okay.
All right, so we've got Leia's from Rise of Skywalker.
Let's do that one number 10.
Okay. All right. 3 more. I have Mace Windu.
I like the gold, but I was never too big of a fan of that style. So let's do 9 on that one.
Okay. So now we've got Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace.
Ooh. Okay, from Phantom Menace. See, I was nervous you were gonna say Obi-Wan from like A New Hope or like the Luke style one like that.
Yeah,
because then I was like,
I personally like his Phantom Menace one more.
Okay,
that's why I threw that one on there.
What do I have left besides 2?
You have 2 and 7.
That's gonna go in 7.
Okay.
I'm like hoping for.
Okay,
let's see.
I think you'll be okay because that means your number 2 is Dooku.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I do. I love the Dooku. It's right there. You can see it a little bit.
All right, so let's go through this and see if you would change anything.
Okay.
You've got starting at 10. You've got Leia at 10, Mace Windu at 9, Maul at 8,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan at 7,
Yeah.
the Darksaber at 6,
Yeah.
Kylo at 5, Ahsoka's katana sabers at 4,
Yeah.
the Skywalker Graflex saber at 3, Dooku at 2, and Return of the Jedi Luke at 1.
I think the only switch I would make is probably 2 and 3. Because again, that Graflex one, it is one of my favorites. I just thought you were going to give me like Darth Vader's lightsaber, or you're going to. So I was like holding off on number 2. But that would be the only.
That list got revised multiple times. At one point, Sidious's was on there. At one point, Yoda's was on there.
Yeah.
There were a couple different ones, but I didn't want to make it too long.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm happy with that. With that.
Okay. I'm. That's more or less probably how I would do it, to be totally honest with you. So
nice.
Okay. The other big part of your collection, helmets.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
I threw some interesting ones on here.
Okay.
I'll warn you now.
All right.
So the first one that I'm gonna give you is, again, 1 through 10.
Okay.
Boba Fett.
Ooh.
Oh, and, just for sake of making it easier, we'll say, because I know he has a couple different versions.
Sure.
We'll go classic. We'll go Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Ooh. I would normally put that number 2 because I know what my favorite helmet is, and I don't know if it's on the list though, but just in case, let's put it at number 2 because I do love Boba Fett's helmet. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we'll keep it classic. We'll just do the basic standard Stormtrooper.
Oh, okay. That's a great one. That's up there in my list as well. Because it was my first life-size replica. Let's do number 3 on that one.
Number 3. Okay. This is about how I expected it to go so far. So I'm gonna throw you a curveball.
All right.
I'm gonna throw you Enoch from the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I just got that helmet too from the new Nova too. And no offense to them or anybody, I'm gonna put that number 10. Not that I don't love the design, super cool design, but there's better ones. So
yeah. No, that's honestly, knowing what the rest of the list is, that's probably where I would put it too, even though I do think it's really cool.
It is pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna throw it. Let's see. Let's do Kylo.
Ooh. I do love Kylo's design. Like I like the way it's designed. But again, let's put that number 9. I do love the design, but I have a feeling there's better ones out there.
Do you like it more in Force Awakens, or do you like it more in Rise of Skywalker after he's like put it back together and it's got all the red lines on it? And
I like the theory of it, right? Like I like the whole like putting it back to like the Japanese style of like welding it together. But I think I like the classic, the original from Force Awakens.
Yeah. All right. I'm pretty sure you have this one. I have a Royal Guard.
Oh, I love the Royal Guard helmet. Let's put that number 5.
All right. Let's see. We've got I just have clone. I'll let you pick. That's a phase 1, phase 2.
Okay.
Somebody in particular. We'll just say all clones.
All clones. Let's put them on 6. Let's do 6 for the clones. I think I'm gonna get some hate for that, but
I'm a big clone guy, so I had to throw the clones in there.
Yeah, of course.
How about Mando?
Ooh,
Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
It's pretty blank slate as far as Mandos go, but
yeah. But I mean, it's a Mando. I mean, I love the T visor, right? Like that's one of my favorite things about it. What numbers do I have left?
You have 1, 4, 7, and 8.
Ooh, that's rough. Let's put them at 7. I don't know if I'm happy with 7 there, but for now, let's put them at 7.
All right. Going along with Mando, I have the Armorer.
Ooh,
Another
I mean,
really really strong.
That's a really strong one, but I do like Din over the armor. So, what is that? 8? I still have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put her at 8.
Okay. So you've got space number 1 and number 4. That's all you got left.
Oh, jeez.
So I have a TIE fighter pilot.
Oh, okay. I mean, we're gonna have to put it number 4 because I'm holding out for number 1.
Okay, I hope I didn't let you down because that means your number 1 is Darth Vader.
Yes, there you go. That I'm okay with. It's not my favorite. Just to actually the biker scout helmet is actually my favorite helmet design.
Yeah,
but you can't go wrong with Darth Vader. I mean, just can't.
The Scout Trooper almost made it on there because it is one of my favorites too. But I was like, I didn't want to load it up with original trilogy.
Yeah,
I wanted to throw a little bit of variety in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had Enoch at number 10, Kylo at 9, Armorer at 8, Mando at 7, Clones at 6, Royal Guard at 5, TIE Pilot at 4, OG Stormtrooper at 3, Boba at 2, and Vader at 1.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
I cannot argue with that.
You could see my bias though. Like it clearly shows. It's like original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like so.
Hey, it is the original for a reason.
No.
I mean, it is the classic for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, like that. I would not argue with that at all. Do you have any favorites, either lightsabers or helmets that I know you said the Scout Trooper?
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, honorable mentions for either of those lists.
I would say like
no, it's really easy to just look around.
I know. I'm looking back. I mean, obviously we missed the Darth Vader lightsaber. That would be up there. Probably the Ahsoka from Clone Wars. I really like that.
Okay.
But
do you
honestly,
do you like those more than the Rebels ones?
No, I actually like the Rebels ones better. I like the katana looking style to them. But I think probably my top honorable mention would probably be the Obi-Wan saber from A New Hope. So just with the old grenade, top and all that. And as far as helmets, the Bausch helmet. That's besides the Scout Trooper Bausch. Yeah. That's another one of my favorite designs. So.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one, to be honest. That one just totally slipped my mind. But no, the Scout Trooper would definitely be up there for me. The Scout Trooper is just really cool. I like that it opens and
I
don't think
like the shape of the mask.
Yeah. I mean, but like you said at the beginning, Return of the Jedi is your go-to.
Yeah.
Now, why is Return of the Jedi your favorite? Now I'm curious.
I think that's just the one that I grew up with. That was the one that came out closest to when I was born. Like that was the one that was like all the toys were out. When I was little, those were the ones that were coming out. And again, I think I was at the right age demographic for that one around then. So I think, not that I was a big fan of the Ewoks or anything, but I think it caught my, my attention probably more than the other ones. Plus, it was a little more action packed for me as a kid. But I think it was the fact that that was my movie, right? Like everyone has like their, you're born when whatever, or you're at the age to watch like the prequels, right? And you're like, oh, that's why it's my favorite. For me, Return of the Jedi came out. I mean, I was probably like 3 years old when it came out, but so it's not like I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I'm sure my parents took me to the movie theater, but at least that's what they claim. But that's the one that I would always rent, right? That was like the one. So
I mean, and that's kind of always how I was about Clone Wars, because Clone Wars. So I was born in '98, so I would have just turned 10 when the Clone Wars movie came out. So I mean, I was
that's prime,
perfect,
prime age.
And I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of the Clone Wars cast and been able to tell them like that's my Star Wars. Like
your Star Wars.
I had seen the original trilogy and the prequels, but I mean, Clone Wars was kind of the thing that made me realize that Star Wars was not something that was going to just go away. wasn't gonna grow out of it. But
everybody has their movie at the right age, and I think that's probably why I didn't connect to the prequels as much, because I think I was already a little bit older, right? So I was already maybe 17, 18 when it came out. So I just think episode 1 was just not it wasn't intended for me, right? Like my age demographic. So, I was one of those like prequel haters for a long time, where I was just like, Jar Jar Binks, what? George Lucas, you ruined it. But now because of Clone Wars, actually, Clone Wars is what changed my mind about the prequels. Which is kind of embarrassing to say, because I only watched Clone Wars during the shutdown. Like that was the first time I watched the whole series, and I was just like, my mind was blown. I was like, I cannot believe I've never watched this. It's so good. Like we get so much background. Like
so good.
It makes me appreciate the prequels now, because now I'm like, oh, like going back to the prequels, like that all makes sense now. Like Darth Maul, like what? Darth Maul was such a badass character. Like why was he only in the movies for like 2 minutes or whatever, right? So it's like, no, absolutely, Clone Wars changed it for me. So
speaking of Maul, I gotta ask you what because we have a handful of Star Wars things kind of on the horizon now. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm excited for Maul. Like I want to see kind of what they do with his story. I thought like you couldn't do anymore. Like I was so satisfied with like Clone Wars and Rebels, like because they really drew out his storyline. Like they really like fleshed it out, and like we got to learn a lot about him. So I didn't think you can get more in depth, right? So I'm really excited. I know it's gonna be like more of like, right, like him in charge of the syndicates and like, right, like the crime lords and stuff, which is great because it's almost like a connection to Solo more than Clone Wars or Rebels. So I'm definitely excited to see that.
I love Solo. I love that. Solo is like I'm a Solo defender. I know there's a ton of people that hate on Solo, but I love Solo.
No, that was such an underrated movie. Like I love it. I'll sit there and watch it. I mean, I think it got the backlash from The Last Jedi, but it is what it is.
I gotta ask, do you have any thoughts about the Mando and Grogu trailer that came out yesterday?
Oh man, as my original trilogy little heart was so content with all the like original trilogy Easter eggs. Obviously, we got the AT-ATs with like snowtroopers inside them, but like the OG AT-ATs, like so that we got a man in it, like just a quick shot of like an man creature. We got the the hollow chest
Yeah.
creature in there, like he's one of the big wrestlers, which
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my god, that makes so much sense that they're playing
Yeah.
the hollow chest and he's like body slamming this other creature, and in the movie we're going to actually see that in live action. I mean, that just those two or those three things alone, I was just like, man, that's it. Like this is going to be amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure we're going to get a lot of cool Easter eggs and, you know, callbacks. So yeah, I'm excited for
Yeah.
that.
I'm just really excited to have Star Wars coming back into theaters
In the
again.
movies. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I
Me,
mean, as awesome as all the Disney Plus shows have been,
yeah,
I mean, there nothing compares to seeing a
no.
Star Wars movie in the theater.
And I think that was a big mistake, I think, on Disney's part. I think they should have released all the shows in the theater as well. And
Ooh,
and the reason is every time I'd go to one of these like premieres, like the Acolyte, like I got to
yeah,
watch the first two episodes on the big screen, like,
yeah,
and it was amazing.
yeah,
Like it was so captivating. Obviously, like the directors are making it for the. I mean, I know they're making it for TV, but like in their mind, they're doing it for the big screen. So like
yeah.
that looked just absolutely awesome. I also got to watch episode was it episode 8 from the Ahsoka series, the one where they go into the world between worlds, where she's fighting Anakin. I got to
Yeah.
see that at that FYC event on the big screen,
Oh,
like at the Directors Guild with like
wow.
amazing sound, and that was just beautiful to see. There's this shot where you see the ghost, you know, it kind
Yeah.
of coming into that like beach where they're looking for Ahsoka in the water, and that shot was just so amazing how it like opens up. It
Yeah.
was beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see again Skeleton Crew for the premiere. We got to watch, you know, some of those on the big screen, and again, completely different experience than watching them on a TV. So I
Yeah.
really wish they would have released all of the series on, you know, at the movie theaters. And again, I think that hopefully they learned their lesson with K-pop Demon Hunters. I hope K-pop
Yeah.
Demon Hunters set a new precedent for, you know, shows or like made for TV, you know, content to try it on the big screen, even if it's like a
Yeah.
limited release, because again, it's just such a different experience, right? So
Yeah. That's cool. I would have loved to see that episode of Ahsoka. I
so
mean,
it
is
was
that
so good.
was that the one with the Clone Wars flashbacks in it?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
dude,
And we
that
got to watch it, and then all of a sudden, like the show, like the episode ends, and it's like, "Welcome to the stage, Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, like, yeah, Dave
yeah,
Filoni," and I'm like, "Oh
yeah,
my!" And I was like right up front too. So like, that
mm,
was just such a crazy experience. It's the one like
yeah,
that picture that you showed where I'm
yeah,
like in at the FYC event. Um, yeah, that one.
yeah.
So that was like after the show and after the Q&A. But yeah, no, it was so great.
I mean,
And
that's a crazy picture.
yeah, oh, absolutely. And I'm forever thankful. I actually did my friend David, who he's actually an animator for like American Dad and, you know, Family Guy, kind of those shows. He's the one who actually invited me to this, not Disney, Lucasfilm, which was just crazy because his friend is friends with Dave Filoni. So we got to
Yeah,
go into the green room and like hang out with them. Like even after this picture, we went into the green room, and I was just like, it was just surreal. I like walked into the green room. There's nobody back there except for Dave Filoni, Rosario Dawson sitting on a couch with like her manager or her hand. I don't know who the person was. We got Natasha sitting on the couch right in front of her. And then we had Hayden Christensen smoking a cigarette kind of in the back corner, and
yeah,
no one else. And then the StarWars.com like media team was there, which I happen to know a couple of them. So like I walked back there, my friends, like my friend David's friend, goes straight to Dave Filoni because they played hockey together. So like he goes straight to that. My friend David makes a just beeline straight to Hayden Christensen, and like they kind of just leave me there, like looking around, and I'm just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, what do I do? So like I kind of gravitated towards the StarWars.com people because I knew them, right? I know some of the media team. So I was like,
Yeah.
hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah. And I think they're just like, what are you doing back here? Like no one was allowed back there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like hovering over, my friend's friend talking to Dave Filoni about hockey and stuff. And like Hayden Christensen eventually comes over and like says bye to Dave Filoni and then just like turns to me and is like, hey, great seeing you again. And I'm just like, again? Oh man, like what the heck
Yeah.
is going on here? Like
Yeah.
it was just it was such a surreal experience. Like so even
Yeah.
beyond what people saw on social media there was even a crazier moment even
Yeah.
after that. So
Yeah.
I'm just super fortunate for some of these
And I much more toned down because obviously it wasn't Hayden Christensen and Dave Filoni, but I know at Rebel ScumCon there was the Dave and Buster's after party,
that was crazy too.
and I
Yeah.
and I think it. And at one point, I'm like playing video games with
No.
Matthew Wood, David W. Collins, and Sam Witwer,
And Sam Witwer,
and
yeah.
I'm like trying to like covertly hand Carly my phone,
Yeah.
and I'm
take
like,
a picture.
Take a picture,
Yeah.
just because I was like, and it was the kind of thing where I walked into the like lounge or whatever that they had for the staff and the guests and the creators, and I'm like, I see Sam Witwer standing at the end of the bar, and I'm like, do I belong in this room? Like it was one of those things where it just like it felt so out of place.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, man, this is cool. And just to be able to get that kind of, interaction and just see that yes, they are these the people that make these shows and make these movies and play these characters, but I mean,
regular
as far as Star Wars is concerned, I have not had a bad experience meeting somebody that's been a part of Star Wars. I mean, they all just seem so like they care so much, and so
yeah, absolutely. I think I've had one, only just one, but it wasn't like super bad. It was just kind of like off-putting. It was with actually Anthony Daniels. He was kind of a jerk, but I mean, I think just in the situation too. So.
I mean, and I've met Anthony Daniels, and it was the kind of thing where for the time that I met him, it wasn't so much him. It was kind of everybody that he had
the situation
around him. That was just kind of it was very conveyor belt. It was very hello, goodbye. It was very quick, but I mean, it's so cool to just see that we are excited to meet all of these people, but they almost seem just as excited to meet the fans. And that's always nice.
Oh, of course. So. And those are the best ones, like the ones that I get actually like excited about meeting the fans. It's like the best feeling.
So before I wrap it up, why don't you share where people can find you, what you've got coming up,
cool,
and where anybody can find all your stuff.
You could follow me on, if you wanted to, on YouTube. I'm still Star Wars Replicas on YouTube, so you can find me there. Or Facebook is Star Wars Replicas as well. On Instagram and TikTok, it's GabesEmpire. So that was a name change recently, like a couple months ago. So GabesEmpire, you can find me through that. I'll be at LA Comic Con this weekend on Saturday, and then I'll be at New York Comic Con on, what is it, like the 9th or whatever, like the October first
The two
or
the
second
two
week
big
of October.
ones. The two
Yeah,
big ones.
so I think those are my last conventions of the year. I think. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any other ones, but yeah. So I'll be there. So if you guys see me around, say hi, and yeah, can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah. And I assume you'll hopefully be at Rebel Scum Con next year.
Absolutely, I'm not
That's
missing that.
that's probably the next time I'll get to see you. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can make it to LA for Celebration,
Oh, you
because
gotta try.
I've never done a Celebration, and
You
Celebration is
gotta
like,
try.
it's bucket list, man. I mean, I think it is for every Star Wars
Yeah,
fan, But I'm
yeah,
definitely I'll be at Rebel Scum Con next year, obviously, because it's it's local, it's friends,
yeah.
it's it's that kind of thing. But pretty much every other uh, con that I would typically go to next year, all of that funding is going to Celebration. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I can get out there
It's
for
worth it. If it's
Celebration.
worth it, if you can make it out. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
again, there's no other convention like it, except maybe actually Rebel Scum Con. I mean, that's like
yeah,
probably the closest you can get to it, because it's only Star Wars fans, right? So as
yeah,
opposed to like all the other conventions, there's like comic book fans, anime fans, kind of a little bit of everything. It
yeah,
just having a Star Wars exclusive convention is just such a cool
yeah,
thing. So
yeah. So I will see you at Rebel Scum Con next year.
yeah,
Hopefully, I see you at Celebration.
yeah.
Um, Gabe, thank you so
No,
much for hanging out and
of course.
coming
Yeah.
on and
Thank you
doing
for the invite.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will wrap it up. And like I say, follow Gabe on all of his socials. Follow me at Limitless Nerd on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where hopefully you're watching this video. Um, and I've got another one coming next week.
Nice.
That's gonna be really cool. I've got Marty Matulis coming
Nice.
on, so
There you
that's gonna be
go.
fun.
Yeah.
So Gabe, thank you again,
Appreciate it.
and until next time, may the force be with you.
Force be with you.